Hi everyone, welcome to Paldatech Live. We are live and it is so great to see all of you here. This topic for today is my favorite focus method for Fujifilm cameras, and that's what we're going to be primarily talking about. So, first of all, I'm in the best mood, okay? And I'll tell you why. I was digging through my closet. I was looking for some stuff. Anyway, I found something that just blew me away, and I haven't looked at it in so many years. Check this out. This is an award. It was my first award that I won, and I was 17 years old, I think, and it was for photography. It was for a photo I took. Check it out. Check it out. Okay, so Palisades High, right? That was my high school, okay? And this award was for photography scenic, first place, presented to me on the 17th of April, 1985 by R. Doucette. Hey, Mr. Doucette, I hope if you're watching this video, I still kept this, okay? Mr. Doucette never really liked me because I was pushing for the yearbook to have all color, right? It used to be in black and white. I was pushing for all color. I kept coming into the photography room in the high school and bugging them to have more studio time and more developing time. And we kept running out of fixers. So anyway, it brought back a lot of cool memories. How's everybody doing? Let me take a look at the chat and see, are we all here? Oh my goodness, we're all from around the world. Chicagoland. We got Johnny from Chicagoland, Alan from England. We got so many people, Latvia, Canada, Italy. I could be here all day talking about where you guys are from. Welcome, one and all. Now, let's talk about my favorite focus method for Fujifilm cameras. And obviously, everyone has a different way of doing it. And I have found that this way gives me the most versatility while lowering the risk of getting a blurry shot, okay? So let me explain, first of all, the way that I think a lot of people do it, and then I'm going to show you a different method based on that, okay? Now, this works for the X-T3, the X-T2, the X-T4, I think the GFX. I don't know if it works for every single Fuji camera model, so I apologize in advance if it doesn't work for yours, okay? So anyhow, what it is, it's a variation of back button focus, okay? Now, I know that a lot of you don't use back button focus, but if you don't, you should at least give it a try. If you've never tried it, give it a try. You can say you've tried it, and if it doesn't work for you, great. If you use back button focus a lot, great. This is actually a variation on back button focus. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how most photographers set up back button focus on the Fujifilm camera. And once I'm done with that, I'm going to show you my way of doing it, slight variation of it, and maybe you could try one or both and see how it works for you. Once I'm done with that, I'll take a few questions, but I'm going to keep this stream rather short today because I got to work on a fast Friday or I'm going to have nothing for Friday. Okay, so here we go. All right, so normally with back button focus, right, you would use on the X-T2 or the X-T3 the focus button right here. You would use that button to actually focus with, right? Now, that's on the X-T4. If it's the X-T3, if you can, I don't know, I apologize for the crude diagram, but it's number 35. I think that's the button on the X-T3 that controls back button focus, sort of default out of the box when you get your camera, okay? So what I'm going to do is we're going to set up this camera to do back button focus with the normal way that people do it, okay? And the way that you do it is obviously you're going to have it in S, all right, S right there. And what I'd like to do is I go into the menu, right? So you go into your menu, you go into the little wrench right here. And it's really, it's funny because some of these things just get hidden. You would think that the setting I'm about to tell you is located in the AF/MF, right? Back button focus setting should be in AF/MF. It's not, okay? So it's located in the wrench of all places, button dial setting, all right? And it's called Shutter AF, right? Go to Shutter AF, and then you'll see that it's on for both S and C continuous mode, right? Turn it off, just like that. All right, turn it off. Now, here's what you've done. You have completely decoupled, right, the focus from the half press of the shutter. So if you're going to take a shot, right, and let me try this example here. All right, so I'm going to take this shot right here. Let me get some, make it a little bit brighter. All right. Can you all see that? Can you all see that? Oh, hi to Romania. Hi to Barcelona. Oh, I love my job. Okay, so here, anyway, we're going to focus now live. We're going to do this. Now, what I'm doing is I am half pressing the button down to focus. I'm just half pressing it, okay? Half pressing it. All right, so now if I go to half press it right here, I've got my focus square on the subject right here. This subject right here, I'm half pressing, nothing's happening. I'm getting blurry shots, right? However, now if I go and I press the focus button that, the AF on, and remember on the other cameras, it's located here on number 35. On the X-T4, it's located right here. So if I press that button, all right, if I press that button, there, it focuses. And the reason, there's lots of reasons for back button focus. The most common, or one of the most common reasons for back button focus is that if you have, say, a subject here, and then you have a subject kind of going like this in front of it, right? Maybe you're taking a photo of a bird and there's tree branches in front of it and you want to focus on the bird, but the bird might be moving, the tree branches in front of it might be moving, okay? So that's when be a great way to use back button focus. So let me show you real quick, all right? So let's say we want to take a photograph of David S. Pumpkins and his BlackBerry, okay? Now, this is the person who's trying to photobomb us. So what I do with back button focus is I simply am pressing this button right here, okay? I'm pressing this button, boom. All right, that's all I did. That's all I did. Okay, I just pressed it once. Now, when I half press down, I can move the camera anywhere I want and my subject, David S. Pumpkins and his BlackBerry, will stay in focus, okay? So right now, here we go. I'm gonna go again, half press the back button. Okay, I'm taking the shots. And this guy's, David is still staying in focus. See that? Okay. Does everybody understand that? That is traditional back button focus. That is traditionally how it's done. All right, let me make sure everybody's good. Yes, sound. Boy, we got so many people. Sicily, Jersey Shore, Japan, Istanbul, Philippines, Greece, Scotland. By the time I'm done with this stream, we'll have every single country on earth here. Very cool. I love that about this channel. All right, so let me show you now the Pal2Tech modified version, okay? Here's the modified version of it. And in order to do that, I'm going to put the camera back to what it was, right? So let me go back. And by the way, if you just joined us, this workshop will be rebroadcast so you can see what I was doing a few minutes ago, okay? All right, let's go back. So here we go. Let me go back here. All right, we go back into button dial setting. We go back to shutter AF and we turn it back on, okay? Boom. That's the way the camera comes, default, right? So we've put it back now. So this method that I'm about to show you does not involve changing those settings. Don't do that at all. Instead, what you want to do is you want to assign one of the buttons, right? You want to assign one of the buttons on the back of the camera. You're going to assign a custom button to the AF on. Let me show you how to do that, all right? You press and hold down the DISP back button right here. Just press and hold it down. Boom, okay, just like that. All right, now that you're in the menu, pick the button that you want to assign it to. And I'm going to assign it to the rear command dial. The rear command dial. Look at this. Have a look at this. You see this? There it is right there. And the function that you want to assign to the rear command dial is AF on. AF on. Boom. Just like that. Okay? All right. So what did we just do? Well, we just made this camera awesome, awesomest. We made it awesome, okay? Here's how this works. When I have the camera, what I do is I keep the camera all the time. You ready for this? I keep the camera all the time in M for manual mode, okay? Manual focus mode. Let me show you. Right there, M. Keep it in M, all right? And that way I'm getting the benefit of having manual focus. However, when I want to focus, I simply press down on the rear command dial. Let me show you. So I'm going to go ahead and focus right here. I am now pressing on the rear command dial. Boom. There it is. Boom. I'm still in manual, but look at that. And it then, because I'm in manual mode, it gives me the flexibility to move the camera around as much as I want. But here's the real benefit of this. If, for whatever reason, I want to quickly go back to the normal way of doing things, in other words, half press down the shutter button and the camera autofocuses, if I want to go back to that, or let's say I'm out and about with my family and, I hand somebody this camera and I say, hey, can you take a picture of us? I want the picture to be in focus, right? So what I do is I simply put, let me show you, I simply put this in S. I simply put this in S, just like that. So if it's in single focus mode, then the camera acts as it always does. Half press down the shutter and boom, it autofocuses before you take the shot. It acts exactly as it normally does. But if I put it in M for manual, now I have the rear command dial acting as my focus. And you can set any button. You don't have to do the rear command dial. Assign that AF on to any button on the back of the camera. That is most of the time how I focus. That is my favorite focus technique. And here endeth the lesson for today, okay? I told you it's going to be short. We're not going to do these long drawn out workshops. It's going to be short, but I hope that if you don't use this technique already, give it a try. Try it out. Obviously, for some kinds of photography, you're not going to want to use it, However, I think if for nature photography, for certain kinds of events and things like that, sports, you might want to try that out. So that's my spiel on back button focus. All right. So let me get my head squared away. Oh, I found this thing when I was digging through and I found my photography award. By the way, I'm going to put this on the wall in the back of the studio. I'm sorry, I can't stop talking about it. I mean, it even has, I noticed on here, it even has the grease stain, right? It has the grease stain from my greasy French fry, covered fingers when I was 17 years old and I got this award handed to me. I mean, 1985, this thing. So I'm thinking about the hell with the YouTube 100,000 plaque or whatever. I want this to go on the wall, right? Right up there. This is what I'm proud of. My first place in scenic. So the second thing I found, I'm going to take some questions and answers here in a second. The second thing I found, this is really funny, okay? Obviously the channel's called Pal the Tech, right? Look what I found in the bottom of the closet. Anybody remember these things? A Crackberry, Blackberry. Can you believe we walked around with these goofy things? I mean, it's like this hard keypad, right? But you know what's funny about it? What's so hilarious about this thing, and I wish I could turn it on, but I tried charging it and it didn't work, so I think it's dead. It's only been in a box for I think 15 years. But you know what's funny about this thing? Laugh all you want, but look at this. Look at this right here. You can connect a pair of headphones directly to it. Can't do it with these, right? So anyway, all right. Welcome to those of you just joining us. Where are we at on the time? Let's see. I need a clock. All right, we're doing good on the time. So I'm going to go to the chat now, the chat. And if I don't get to your specific thing, it's just because I didn't see it or I ran out of time. If you need to reach me with something, go to my YouTube channel, go to the About tab on my YouTube channel, and right there is my email address. Send me an email. I'll try and answer when I can. I get a lot of them, but I'll do my best. Okay. All right, what do we have here? Okay, we got Benjamin Caneric. Hey, Ben, he's asking me to come to Paris and press the shutter for him while he presses the AF button. That'd be awesome. You know what? I propose that I go to, the next time I go to Paris, it's been a long time since I've been in Paris, but the next time I go to Paris, Ben, we are going to go out on a photo shoot together. We have to. Okay. So yeah, definitely we'll do something along those lines. Simon says, I use back button focus on my X-T3 and have assigned it to the AEL. Yes, the AEL button. Oh, I wish I had an X-T3. Fuji, can you send me like an X-T3? Because the problem is this is my X-T3 and how am I going to show people how it works? So on the X-T3, it's easier to assign back button focus to AEL, I think. So that's a great way to do it, Simon. Let's see. Why not set it to the AF on button on the back rather than the dial? Very good question. Question is why, since, you know, there's an AF on button, why not just assign back button focus to that? You certainly can. I'll tell you the reason why. I don't like the ergonomics of it. My thumb is so big, right? And it's just easier for me to press the rear command dial. I can, from an ergonomic point of view, I can grab it easier. That's the only reason. You can assign it to any button you want. All right. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back a little bit because I missed so many things. So many comments. So much comments. All right. Hi, David. Hi. We got so many people. I can't even pronounce some of these names. Going down here. Some people are liking the back button focus idea. I like that too. Greetings from Antarctica. You got to be joking. There's not somebody here from Antarctica. Comment again if that, I don't believe you. There's not somebody here on this channel from Antarctica, although they do have a NASA thing. No, seriously, are you from Antarctica? Because that would make a channel first for me. Let me know. And if you are in Antarctica, what are you shooting down there? You have all that white snow. I hope you're setting your correct white balance. Okay, looking here. Hi. Germany, Scotland, Spain, Istanbul. Yeah. All right. All right. So hi, Vishal. How you doing? How you doing? I could just sit and talk to you guys. St. Petersburg. Awesome. Speaking of St. Petersburg, there's a few people from St. Petersburg I see. I was there the day they changed it from Leningrad to St. Petersburg. In fact, and I should dig through the box. I have a box of all this stuff, but I have a train ticket from Helsinki and I was there for like 2 weeks. The train ticket says Helsinki to Helsinki to Leningrad. And then the return ticket was St. Petersburg to Helsinki. It changed names when I was there. Okay, let me go back to the beginning here. Hello from India. Hi there. I'm looking for buying a wide lens. What do I think about the 16 millimeter? What do I think about this? Ben, what do we think about the 16 millimeter? Well, good you asked. As I've said, this doesn't just shoot art. This is a work of art. I think the 16 millimeter is an amazing lens. The build quality, let me show it to you. The build quality, the type of images you can get from it, just the clutch focus. I love this thing. You get this cool lens hood rocking it. It's a great lens. That being said, if I had to decide, if I was on a budget and I absolutely didn't need tack sharp in every single micro atom inch of the image, I would probably, if I could choose between one or the other, either the 16 millimeter prime or the 16 to 55 zoom, I would get the 16 to 55 millimeter zoom first, because that is like having 4 prime lenses. You get your 16 millimeters. Is it as high a quality as this? No, it's not. I mean, to be clear, but it's incredible. And it is a damn good zoom lens. So short answer to you is yes, get the 16 millimeter prime. If it's in your budget, it's not a cheap lens, but the 16 to 55 is awesome. By the way, my 16 to 55, I have one and it broke. I sent it back to Fuji and I'm waiting to hear back. I think I'm going to write to them today. I got to find out where that lens is. It's being fixed and I'm going to update you all with what happened with it. I mean, I have a few videos on that lens, the saga of the 16 to 55. Yeah, definitely, Andrew, definitely. No, I have not gotten it back yet, Alachek, not yet. They're working on it. I know that. But I actually wrote to Fuji And we're communicating about the lens. And I said, is it possible that you could find out specifically on a technical level what's wrong with it so that I can report back? Because there are some people that are concerned. That was a weird error message. You know, you put the lens on any camera. It didn't matter which Fuji camera I put it on. The minute I put it on the camera popped up a message that said, please turn camera off. Not a good message to hear when you're wanting to put a lens on a camera. So I will update you as soon as I know more, probably sometime either Friday. Okay, I should hear back by Friday. I'm going to be on hiatus next week. I'm going to be off the air. So Friday, if I can get, I'm going to finish up this live stream soon because I got to get on Fast Friday video for Friday. And then I'm going to be on hiatus next week. And then the following week, boom, I'm coming back and I'll probably have an announcement about the lens then. All right. Tamron 18-230 for Fuji. Oh, I want to try that lens out. You have no idea. Tamron has been in touch with me. They say they're going to send one for testing that I could have for a few weeks for testing. And so that's in the works. I have not received it yet. And I'm just waiting to hear from them. Definitely would love to test that lens out. And you know, and you all have made such a difference because I got to tell you, I asked on one of my live streams, you know, is it right for a photography YouTube channel to go and just rent stuff and then review the stuff you've rented and then return it? Because honestly, I can't afford to buy every, I mean, you know, there's no way. You want to hear about the lenses. I want to tell you about the lenses, but I can't own every single lens. It's just impossible. So I'm okay with renting lenses, and I'm going to start doing that for the channel. Not just lenses, but cameras as well. I want to rent some different Fuji models and kind of stack them up. What I'd love to have would be a series of videos on, hey, you're new to Fujifilm. Let me show you the direction you should go. If you're this kind of shooter, you might want to go to these type of model cameras. If you're this kind of shooter, you might want to go down this road. Something like that I think would be very helpful. Okay, questions, lots of questions here. Okay, so is it Neil? On the X-T4, I use back button focus in continuous focus mode only. Yes, that is a great way to do it. And to do that, forgive me if I'm wrong, but you would simply go into the menu, go into button dial setting, shutter AF, and change it for AFC. You have both of these options, right? And the way that I showed you today was in AFS. Sorry, I'm getting confused. AFS, right? These live streams are, for me, do you hear the dog? My dog is barking, okay? I hope the mic isn't picking that up. All right, someone's at the door. I got to go. I'll see you later. Okay, so we're down to a few more minutes here. 16-55 versus the 16-80. Okay, I got to talk to you about the 16-80. I reviewed that lens when it first came out. I had the first version of it, the first firmware, the first model, and I wasn't impressed with it, to be honest with you. It had some weird video wobbling issues. Oh, anyway, I've got those videos. Just go search for 16-80 in my channel. You'll see what I mean. Then they came out with a firmware update. So I retested the lens again. And this was maybe 6 months after that first video, but it was still a long time ago. And when I tested it again, I still had the same problem, but it was a little bit better. But I returned it. That, to this day, has been the only camera lens I've actually ever returned to the manufacturer. Now, I may have just had a bad copy, okay? But I have seen in discussion forums and on the internet, places like that, that other people have had mixed results with it. Some people love that lens, others not so much. I do think it's the perfect travel lens. And if it didn't have those issues for me, I would recommend the 16-80 for everyone on the planet. But between the 16-80 or the 16-55, it's not even almost a close call, a close decision. Not at all. I mean, for me, the 16-55 is like having 4 primes in one. The Viltrox 13mm, yeah. I haven't heard from Viltrox lately. I have reviewed 4 Viltrox lenses on this channel. I have not heard from them. Maybe they got weirded out. I made a rap video, with one of their lenses. I don't know, maybe it kind of weirded them out. You know, Viltrox, if you're watching, I think the audience we'd love to try out that lens. You could send it me for a couple of weeks. I'd love to try it out. But hey, I'm not saying the 16 to 80 is bad. It could be the best lens, and this could be something I'm just missing the boat on, okay? But it's, again, I got to be, to tell you my perspective, and just for me, it just didn't work out. For me, the 16 to 55 for me was a better fit. All right. All right, let me look down here. Oh my goodness. All right, so any other questions? And if I haven't seen yours, I'm sorry. I can only read this thing. I just got to get my YouTube live stream chops down. I mean, how am I doing? Is this like better? At least am I better than the first few live streams, for those of you seeing it? Because I've been really trying to get stuff like, I don't know if you noticed, I don't have these on anymore. I don't have that big mic in front of me. So it's getting better. We're getting better at it. Okay, question. I'm ordering the new X-T3. There's a 15 to 40 option, or an 18 to 50. Wait a minute, 18 to 55. You mean 18 to 55, right? Okay. I don't know. Brooks, I'm sorry. I don't know the answer to that for that particular camera setup, but anyone else, take a look at his question. If you have that camera and that lens setup, please let him know if you have any opinion on it at all. That would be really helpful. TD Artisan's lenses are a perfect fit for Fuji cameras. I agree. I have, where is it here? I was really impressed with, which one is this? This is the macro. Yeah, the 40 millimeter F28 macro. I actually did one of the first reviews on this lens, and I love it. It's a good budget macro. Is it as good as the Fuji macro? No, it's not. Obviously, it's not. But look at the price. You always have to look at the price with these things. The problem is that the thing extends out so far that it's kind of a focus distancing problem that I have with it. But I love it, and I've used it a lot. And it was a fun lens to review, and I would recommend this lens absolutely for a third-party budget. I'm putting budget in quotes because it's considerable, but it's a lot less than the Fuji 80 millimeter macro. TD Artisans is going places for sure. And now that we're going to have, is it Sigma, what that tells me about Fuji. See, I like to read between the lines. I don't pull out one little soundbite that some CEO of some company says and then take that as the truth. All right. I like to read between the lines. And what I'm reading about Fujifilm in my mind is that these companies like Sigma, Viltrox, TD Artisans, why would they put this money and investment and time and research into putting out all of these lenses for Fuji products if Fuji's going down the tubes? It's ridiculous. Of course they're not. If anything, they know a lot more probably than I do about where the industry is going, and they're doing their best to jump on that train because they know that those lenses are going to be popular. Okay, everybody's talking about the 16 to 80. Thank you very much, Mark, so much. I have the Fuji, Mark says I have the super chat. I have the Fuji 16 to 80 and agree it's a bit soft. Yes, that was the other issue I had. It was a bit soft. Unless you stay in the, F8 50 millimeter. He's absolutely correct. Look at the super chat to see perfectly summed up my opinion of that lens. Awesome. Yeah. That lens was, there was a little bit of softness. Hi, Aaron. Aaron is here. You remember I mentioned Aaron in my last video. He did that freaky thing, right? With the hair thing. He's here. Awesome. How you doing, pal? Oh, I love it. Have I ever used an X100V? I have not used one, but that's one of the cameras I want to loan out, to rent and review. The renting actually is not that cheap. It's like $200-300 for a week. So it adds up, and I would need it minimum for 2 weeks. So we're looking at about a $500 investment to do a review of another camera. So I'm hoping maybe I can get Fuji to loan one to me if they've got one laying around. Okay, where are we at? What's your color profile setting set up for live video? That's a question I can't even possibly answer like right now. But what I can tell you is that I am using this camera right here is an X-T3. This camera right here is an X-T3. Both of them are set to face eye auto detect, and I used custom white balance with this. I did that thing, okay? I have a video on how to do this, so check out my white balance video, but I set it to this lighting in here, and I have it in the standard one, Provia, just regular Provia. I'm not doing F-Log or anything like that in the studio segments, so it's just Provia, and everything is at 0. You know, the grain, sharpness, all that stuff is just at 0. Now, when I make my regular videos that you see that are produced, that are not live streams, it's all of those same settings, but I do a considerable amount of post-production color work and tweaking of things. And that's the part I can't really go into right now, but yeah, I hope that helps. And the lenses are these. This is the 16 to 80. No, I returned that lens. The 18 to 55. This is the kit lens, the 18 to 55 at the lowest aperture, and this is the Viltrox lens. I think it's the 33, Viltrox 33 right now. Look at this. This is Face Eye Auto Detect right now. You know, Face Eye Auto Detect on the Viltrox third-party 33 millimeter lens on the X-T3. Okay, how effective is image stabilization on the X-T4? I think it's very effective. I love it. I have a few videos on it. I have one specifically on image stabilization on that, and I also on comparing it with the X-T3, and then I do a full-blown review of the X-T4 camera where I have a segment on there that I have a bunch of demos of the image stabilization. So you should definitely check those out before investing in the camera and watch other YouTubers' reviews of that camera as well. But I think this image stabilization is wonderful. It's certainly not as good as a gimbal, not as good as practicing and making, you know, you can have the best image stabilization in the world, but if you're, if you're running around and you're guzzling down Red Bull and you're doing all that stuff, then, so yeah, it has good image stabilization, I think, overall. Okay. Let's see, XS10. All right, I'm going to have to wrap this up. Any other questions? Can you find any difference in autofocus performance between your X-T3 and your X-T4? Yes, I have found that the X-T4, it's snappier. Is it so significant that I would recommend buying that over the X-T3? No. I honestly think if you look at price, first of all, if you're a photographer who shoots mostly stills and you're not shooting a tremendous amount of video, I think the Fujifilm X-T3 with its ergonomics, with its autofocus, and with its very capable video capabilities is the single best mirrorless bargain you can get on planet Earth. Absolutely. You can quote me on that. So, but the X-T4, I don't know. I've found that the autofocus is just a hair. It is better. And I think I did a comparison of that in my X-T4 video. So check out my X-T4 video, and I think you can see them side by side. All right. Okay. So is there any way to turn off image review before importing photos in Capture One? Not sure I understand that one. Image review on the back of the camera, image review as you're bringing them into Capture One. Let's take that one offline. Shoot me an email. My email address is in the About section of my channel. I want to figure that one out. I'm late. I'm behind on doing a Capture One tutorial, so I got to do that. By the way, I did a NAS storage video today. If you haven't seen it, it was just to get everyone kind of acclimated to this is going to be a new series. This is why you want to consider a NAS, and that we got to start upping our game. And I'm just going to say this because a lot of photographers think, oh, it's just in the cloud. That's fine. The cloud is nothing more. Let me translate the cloud. Okay, here's the translation for the cloud. The cloud is somebody else's computer. That's all the cloud is. So it's a good idea to have your photos stored on somebody else's computer if you have additional local backups as well. And I'm going to get more into that. I don't want to talk about it too much now, but I'm going to get more into that as well on how to best do that using Backblaze, the NAS system, what RAID drives are and all that. I'm very excited about this stuff, and I have to be, because if I was bored by it, it is one of the world's most boring subjects to talk about, is data management. You know, nobody wants to talk about data management, security and data management. I mean, come on. I'd far rather talk about the cameras and the art of photography and all that. So, but we'll do the best we can with it. And there's part 2 coming after next week, after I come back from hiatus on next week. Okay, any thoughts on Capture 122? New features like HDR and panorama stitching? Yes. First of all, Capture One made a huge mistake in taking away the export tab, window, doohickey, whatever the hell you want to call it, that thing up there. Because whenever you have a piece of software and you remove something, right, you better have a damn good reason. And there wasn't really a compelling reason for them to have done that. And a lot of photographers had a really good workflow with that. Now, smartly, and this is what I love about Capture One, they immediately reversed that and they've brought it back. So for that Capture 122, I believe they brought it back. I'm going to be addressing all the changes in all the different versions from when I did my last Capture One video to this one. So we'll talk about that as well. I am now 7 minutes over time. We got people from IT security here. Good, good. If Fuji ever made the perfect camera, everybody liked, they should call it the XTC. Okay. Next video, data management. Well, there's going to be a video Friday if I can get it done. And then I'll be off next week. I'm going on hiatus. Channel's going on hiatus. So watch a rerun or something. Then when I get back, I'm going to jump into a few things. One video that I have promised and promised and promised and promised and promised that I have yet to deliver on, histogram. Sorry, that video, histogram. So that's coming, as well as part 2 of the data management one. And then I have kind of a surprise fun video that I don't want to talk about. And the reason I don't want to talk about it is I don't want to lose my steam on it. If you haven't yet seen my 10 tips to avoid burnout, one of my tips is be really careful how much you share with your audience or your friends or your family, because by talking about it and then people in the comments, oh, that's a great idea, it kind of feels like I did the project already and I'm getting the results and the dopamine and the yay, they like it, without delivering it. So I'm keeping it close, playing my cards close on this one, but it's going to be a fun video. So I got that coming. And just, yeah. And the last thing I'm going to say before I jump off, okay, I've got to stop looking at the chat because I could just stay on all day. The last thing I want to say is I want to give a little bit of an announcement to the future of the channel, okay? Up until now, the channel's been heavily focused on settings of these cameras, right? Where do you find the back button, Dutch, blah, 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 right? And I love doing the settings, and I think I do them pretty well. However, at some point, you all have your cameras set up. Okay, we got to go to the next level here. We got to go to the next level. So things like using the histogram, not just setting the thing up, but how to use it in the real world. That's where I want to start taking the channel. You know, not just talking about how to, you know, set up this thing, but how do you manage, you know, 10,000, 100,000, a million photos and those kinds of things that are beyond just once you got your camera set up. So I think I'm going to slowly start to do that. I'm still going to do camera setup videos. Listen, if they come out with an X-T5, I'm your guy, okay? So, or an X-H2, I might even do that one. But that's kind of where it's headed. All right, that is about all I can handle right now. These are really hard, these live streams, but I love doing them because I love interacting with you. That is the highlight of my day, my week. And I will see all of you in my next video, which hopefully will be this Friday. Thank you so much for joining. I'm sorry if I didn't get to all the questions on here, the chat, but I will hopefully get to them the next time I do this. I want to do these more often. So anyway, have a wonderful lunch, dinner, sleep, breakfast, wherever you are. And thank you again. And I'll see you soon.